Good day all. So here's the long-awaited info session on surrogacy. As you all know, I currently am pregnant 33 weeks with my second journey for surrogacy, and I love doing what I do, and I love helping others, including helping other surrogates to become surrogates and to be successful surrogates to the best of their ability with as much info as what they can get. So I'll be checking there now and then to guide me and to make sure that I stay on track. I've got a whole scripture that's laid out there with all the questions. All right, so let's start from the beginning. First question that a lot of ladies ask is, how do I begin with surrogacy? How can I start in being a surrogate? So first of all, you're going to have to make sure that you are above the age of 18 and under the age of 41, 44, depending on the protocol of the clinic or place where you're going to register and you're going to work through. And then you at least have to have one child of your own that was a successful pregnancy with no complications, and the child must be living. All right, unless if the child wasn't stillborn or born with any problems or hassles. All right, then you're going to register. You're going to look for attorneys, specialized attorneys. I will link their I will copy their links in the description so that you can find them. I only know of one that I am currently with, and I do know there's other surrogates that also use other private attorneys, but they have a lot more protocol to follow. You can also register at the fertility clinics, put your name up there and say that you want to be a surrogate. Can you put your name on the list somewhere, so that because some of them do have a list where they do keep a list of surrogates that can help. And then you have to be financially independent, meaning you mustn't do this for the money because you won't be getting payment for it. Unfortunately not. So please remember that. And you have to be healthy and active. I wouldn't say that size is really a big problem, but as long as you're active and as long as you're busy and you are healthy and you have no complications or health issues, that would not be a problem. Then, next question. What does the process entail? All right, so you're going to register and you're going to go get matched, meaning when they give you a couple or they give you a few profiles to view, and then you choose who you want to help. I've got a criteria that I go according to, and a lot of the other surrogates as well. Some surrogates would not carry for gay couples, some would not carry for other ethnical groups, others will not carry for straight couples, others will carry for single parents only that do not have kids or do have kids and want more. So it's all depending on your criteria and what your partner and you will allow and what you want in the couple. Then you will go and meet each other either online or at a specific point where you guys have agreed. And once you guys all agree that you like each other, that is a match, and you're going forward with the journey. Then the clearance starts, meaning you get medical clearance. You have to go for bloods. If you have a partner, they also have to go for the same tests. All of this they have to be part of. If you are single or you are not married and you are independent, then that doesn't matter. But if you do have a partner, that's usually one of the biggest criteria, because they have to clear them as well, as you're going to be pregnant with their baby while still being involved with your partner. And then when you do that, you get medical clearance where you go and see the gynae at the fertility clinic or the gynecologist that will be doing the FET or the embryo transfer or the whole process. And then you have to go for police clearance to check that you don't have any criminal records, because your contract will be going through the High Court, usually. But I do know of a few surrogates that do private contracts and it doesn't go through the High Court. But it's always better just to take the right route and be safe and make sure everything is sorted and there's no hiccups. Your children, I know my attorney said that they changed this now. They used to say that the children also have to go for the psychology evaluation, which your partner also has to go with. If you have children, they have to go. Some do say you must go for the psych evaluation, and your children, you as a surrogate have to go for the psych evaluation. But some say your children have to go, and some say it's not necessary. Sometimes the court will say, yes, your children need to be evaluated. It's a lot. I'll explain that later, but it's something you have to be prepared for. If you have got a partner, they also have to go with you with the psych evaluation, because they will be giving you the support. And then once you have been approved and cleared from all of this, you will get a contract, agreement, which will then be pulled up, and you guys will then agree, the parents, the attorney, and you will agree on what you are willing to do and what is by law needing to be into the contract. Like genetic, you can't be genetically linked to the child. They may, you're not allowed to do that. That's a traditional surrogacy, and the gestational is when you're just carrying the embryo for them, and you're not genetically connected. And then once your court approval comes in, you will go for IVF or embryo transfer, either or. And you will start meds 10 to 20 days before you go for this transfer. Not all clinics do the meds, but most of them have some meds you have to take before. And then up until 12 weeks of pregnancy, depending on what meds they give you. Now, all right, so the type of meds they will be giving you is usually pills or injections or suppositories, whether it's going to go anal or vaginal. It will be hormones, or it will be manipulators, meaning they will be manipulating your body to think that they are not that it's not ovulating, so that when they do the embryo transfer, that there's no hassles or hiccups. Some put you on birth control, some don't. Most put you on estrofem. It's estrogen, extra estrogen, but some don't. My first I had, my second I didn't. And then some give you Leucrin and or dicloflam. It's something like that. Not dicloflam, diclo something, but it's manipulated to stop you from ovulating, to force your body to not ovulate. So some give it, some don't. And then progesterone, most give it either in an injection form or in a suppository form. Some don't. I've heard of some that don't. And then blood thinners, usually that's also one thing that they put you on for the beginning of the journey. If you have had blood issues or stroke issues or issues with these things, they also sometimes let you go on the blood thinners long term, meaning up until the end, and then after the baby is born again. Just remember that some clinics have natural cycles, some have forced cycles, and some have manipulated cycles. So there's a huge difference between the two, and between the three, and you have to ask them if they want to put you on progesterone and you can't handle injections. Ask them to put you on a suppository. The suppositories can also be taken orally. Some of them need to be inserted vaginally or anally, depending on, again, the clinic's preferences and what they want you to do. So all clinics and fertility clinics and specialists are different. The protocols are different. So don't limit yourself, and be open to all, and just be open to discuss. Ask a lot of questions, don't be afraid. Ask about the side effects, ask about anything that they want you to do. Some clinics don't want you to bath in hot water, they only want you to shower. Some want you to bath in normal water and not to shower. Depending on each, there's a difference with all of them. Okay, let's not lose everything. So once you have had the medication preparation, you will go for transfer. You get unmedicated and medicated transfer, which means they give you a sedative that you take orally that will calm you down, and you won't be in any pain, but you won't be sleepy and unaware. And then you have to take it, some clinics say you have to take it easy for just a day or for 3 days or 5 days, depending on the protocol again. Then we have the surrogate tails, the wife's tails that we call them, where you have to take pineapple core 5 days, from 5 days before transfer. And you have to go for a McDonald's chips at least on the day of transfer. And eat hot food, not cold food, not hot like in spicy, hot as in warm. And then you go for bloods on day 9 or day 11 after transfer, or day 10. Some, again, it's the protocol of the clinic how they do that. Some do it on day 7, but usually from what I've seen in South Africa, it's day 9 or 11. Then they confirm your HCG levels to see if you are pregnant and if it's above what they want it to be. Usually they want it to be above 50, the count, or above 90, depending on everything. If it's too low for their liking, they'll send you for a test a day or two later to check if it's doubled or tripled like it should be. And then if pregnancy is confirmed, all meds will continue until week 10 to 13, depending on the protocol of the clinic. If not pregnant, you will stop all your medicine, usually. Again, protocol of the clinic is what you have to take into account. And you will wait for your next cycle to come and restart everything. And then I want you guys to remember IVF rates and transfer rates, meaning the percentage of success rates. That's what I want to talk about. Now, usually it's a 20 to 70% success rate. And that's, if you take it into account, it's actually not much. That means every third or fifth, between every third and fifth transfer becomes a successful pregnancy without complications. Your age is also a huge factor. Anything above 35 can put it more at risk and make it harder for you to become pregnant with IVF. And then your health and then the quality of the embryo is also very important. There's different types of qualities of embryos. You get day 3, day 5 embryos, and then you get AA, AB, and BB qualities, and there's more, I'm sure. But I know of those because I've dealt with those and I've looked it up in my first journey. So that has a lot of impact on what your results will be. Stay healthy, no smoking, no drinking, and being active. That's very important. Making sure that you feed and fuel your body for this journey is very important, and being prepared and open for the whole process. Right, then your gynae appointments will be once a month, and the parents need to be there as well, at least. And then from 28 weeks to 30 weeks, it will become every second week appointment. And then I think from 36 weeks, it will be a weekly appointment, depending on your gynae and where you will be. And then please remember that any pregnancy is high risk. You are putting your life at risk to bear a baby, regardless if it's with IVF or naturally, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for someone else. Please remember that it's high risk, and there is always complications, whether it's small, whether it's big, and whether it's nothing. There's always complications. There's always a high risk of something happening or going wrong. Now, IVF pregnancies usually are more complicated, and IVF embryos usually can give you more hassles, meaning health issues, health scares. Now, you'll be seeing a fetal specialist as well. If they don't do the NTSI or NPSI test, I'm not sure. I might be announcing that wrong. But there's the genetic testing that needs to be done for Down syndrome and any other problems with the embryo or the baby, fetal. Or you will be forced to go for a scan by the gynecologist, depending on what their protocol is once again. That's when you can do the test at 12 weeks, or you can go for the scan at 12 weeks and then 20 weeks again. Right, so next question is, will I be paid for this journey or for being a surrogate? The answer is no. No, you will not be paid a lump sum. We are in South Africa, and it is illegal to get paid to bear a baby and sell a baby to someone or carry a baby for them, regardless if you're risking your life. I know it's unfair because you're putting your life at risk. Most of us have families of our own. I've got 3 kids and a husband, and I've got family that also depend on me and rely on me, and I'm putting my life at risk for someone else just to help them have the joy that I am experiencing every day. But no, you'll be getting an allowance to sustain a healthy pregnancy. That means your allowance will cover your data or airtime, your maternity clothes, scar creaming or creams that you need, and then also your nutrition aspect of things, and then also if you need to buy medications like prenatal vitamins and some Panados if you have pains and aches during pregnancy due to the medication or to the pregnancy itself, because when you're pregnant, your blood supply doubles. Yes, it doubles. So that means your Your heart works harder than what it usually does when you're not pregnant, and your blood flow is a lot more stronger than what it is when you're not pregnant. So there is complications, always side effects. Some are lucky. I mean, I must say I was actually lucky with my first journey to only have slight problems of UTI. I had some urine infections, which caused a bit of bleeding and then caused the cramping, but it was manageable. I didn't have much more than that. I had a bit of nausea here and there and a lot of cravings. But other than that, I actually did not have huge issues. With this one, there was a few things that popped up, but it was little stones, and it is still little stones for me in the road. I've been having contractions since 30 weeks, unfortunately. We do not know why. We might be thinking that it's just due to the fact that this is my 6th pregnancy and that my body is just not feeling it this time around. But other than that, we also have a big, healthy baby where he's 1.5 to 3 weeks in advance on measurements and size. So we are happy with that. All right, we're still on the paid thing. Right, so the intended parents or the parents of the embryo baby, whichever you want to call it, is then also liable for covering your medical aid, so that you are on a medical aid and covered for any emergencies and also for the birth, and they can claim from the medical aid, and then they also have to pay for all the medical bills, including blood works, doctor's appointments and all those things, medications. And they also have to pay disability and life insurance for in case if something happens to you. And then also if you have to travel, they also have to cover the traveling fees. And if you work from home or you have to get a nanny for any reason for your children, then they have to cover that as well for your appointments time frame and time period. But you have to discuss all of this with them when you guys agree to the contract and to the legal agreement that you guys will be discussing early on. How does the birth work? Let's go. Right, so if you do a C-section, then usually you have to ask your gynecologist as well how many people will they allow in the room. Usually they only allow 1. Sometimes they compromise and say, okay, we'll allow 2, 1 for you and 1 for the baby. And some would be very nice and say everyone can be in the room, depending on how they want things to be, and what they will allow. So my gynecologist unfortunately said I can only allow 1 person in, so I will be allowing 1 parent in, because I believe I'm strong enough to be okay in theatre and to experience that amazing moment when the parents hold their baby for the first time and see and observe their baby being born. And then I'll have my husband by my side when it's necessary. And then if you have natural birth, the same will entail the gynecologist. A gynecologist needs to specify what they will allow and not allow. So you're going to have that discussion, and you're going to have it with your gynecologist, and then with your partner, and then with the parents, so that you guys can get together on what you guys want and what would be easy for you. Then I get a question a lot, and I think I speak for a lot of us as surrogates. We get this a lot. These are general questions that get asked. Do you get attached to the baby? No. Otherwise, I would not be approved psychologically to do this journey. I know what it entails, and I know what the reason for it is. So I will not get attached. Yes, I do feel the baby move. I do get excited when the baby moves and gives you huge kicks. But it's more of not connecting, knowing that the baby is alive and healthy and strong. That is the sign I see and feel when I feel the baby move. It's not, hi, my baby, how are you? It's not the same psychologically. That is the way that I see it, because I know what it entails and I know what I have to do and what I'm busy doing and what I agreed to. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been approved by the psychologist with my psych evaluation. If that was a problem, attachment was a problem, then I would not be a successful surrogate, doing it twice again. All right, and then let's go to the next one. How can you give your baby to someone else, or how can you give your baby away? I'm not giving away my baby, because it's not my baby. I am the surrogate, the oven. I'm only carrying their pee, their baby, their embryo to grow. So I'm just giving back their baby. I'm giving back what belongs to them, not to me. That will also be specified in your contract and agreement. So please make sure. These are questions that we get asked a lot. We cannot do that. How can you do that? And how can you give your baby away? How? It's not genetically, it's not, I'm not connected. I'm not the mother. If you go and do DNA testing, you will see I'm not the mother. I'm not the baby's mother. I'm not connected to this baby at all. The only connection I have is I carried this baby and made sure the baby grew healthily without problems and is healthy and gets fed and has everything that this baby needs to make sure it grows, so that we can give this baby to the parents that he or she belongs to and that they've been longing for to hold in their arms. So please just know, we're not doing this selling babies or just giving babies up for adoption because we can make babies and give them away. We're doing this more correctly. Not that I'm saying that it's wrong to have parents adopt babies and women having their children being adopted because they cannot financially look after them or take care of them emotionally or in any way. So regarding that, just know that I'm here if you guys have any questions. And if there's any other further questions that you guys want to know, that's basically surrogacy in a nutshell in South Africa that I can share with. And I can say honestly, from my point of view, I do this to help other people because we have family and friends that also cannot have children. And we see that on a daily basis, people dealing with this loss and this pain of not having that ability. And financially, sometimes they can also not afford it. It's expensive. Okay, so if there's any questions regarding surrogacy or any other questions and information that you guys need, please just don't hesitate to ask in the descriptions and the comments. I will open it up and make sure it's open. Thank you very much and have a lovely week.